Hello. Something which kind of freaked me out a bit today, and I wanted to share it. I feel like I might have been marked for death or something. And as crazy as that sounds, there's like three things. One is the other day, the magpie at the window, which I told you about. This is, I don't know if you can see that, my window here. That's next door's garden, but this is my window. And where I saw the magpie was just on the other side of where this window sticker is. It came and sat on my window, so right there, and it tapped at the window here where this lover's window sticker is, and it stared at me. What it did is it landed here and it stared at me through the window, and then it tapped on the other side of this window sticker and then it stared at me and then it flew away. And that may seem like nothing, but it kind of freaked me out a little bit because it's so unusual. You know, birds normally keep to themselves and they don't bother you. No bird has ever come and sat on my windowsill before like that and stared at me, for God's sake, and it's like a couple of feet away, if that. It's just kind of got to me a bit, and so there's that. And the second thing is it's yesterday. Is it the same day that the magpie came and tapped on the window, or is that like 2 days ago? Time just blends together. Okay, but this week, yesterday, I was sitting on the sofa watching TV, and our dog, he's a little I'll remember, Shetland sheepdog. He's small and really fluffy, sort of like a lassie dog, except small like a fox. And he was just staring at me. Like, he doesn't usually do that. He sat at one end of, we've got a long sofa and I sat in the middle, and he came and sat at one end of the sofa and he just stared at me. And then he walked behind me or across the front of me to the other end of the sofa, and then he just sat and looked at me, and then he walked back again. It was like that for like an hour or something. And it was just maybe half an hour, but it just really unsettled me a bit. He's never stared at me like that before. It's like I've got a big invisible X over my head saying like death will die within a week or something, and only the animals can see it. And it you know, that's just very unusual. He doesn't normally stare at me like that. It was just sort of, you know, he's not normally a dog that does that. He doesn't just stare at me, and he seemed very unsettled while he was doing it. He normally lies at the end of the sofa. He has a favourite spot on one side of that sofa, and he used to lie there. And you know, he does what dogs do. He just lies there and sort of snoozes. He doesn't just lie there and stare at me like sort of like, you know, a weirdo. So yeah. Anyway, that's number 2. That was the weird thing. And number 3 is a bit more meaningful. If those two didn't mean much to you. I have 2 sons, and the younger one is 9, and for I don't know how long, but a couple of years at least, he's had a reoccurring dream. It's a nightmare, and it really troubles him. He hasn't mentioned it for a few weeks now, but periodically he would say to me about this nightmare he's been having, and it's of me with knives in my back, like I get stabbed in the back, and that's how I die. I mean, you could put that down to any number of things, you know, childlike fears, he's very afraid of losing me or whatever, but today it just occurred to me there could be a deeper meaning to that, because, I just need to change hands in oil words. I put a deeper meaning to that today because I have premonitory dreams about my life. You know, just about myself. It's day-to-day shit. It's just nothing, you know, not like I'm, I don't have dreams to the level where I could predict the next 9/11. God forbid, you know, that would happen again. But, you know, it's nothing of that level. It's just day-to-day stuff of my daily life. And I have dreams, and they don't make sense at the time, but then in the future, weeks, months, even years into the future, something's just, it's just an everyday scene is happening in my life, and I get that feeling of deja vu in my mind, and that's from an old dream. And so I have premonitory dreams about my future. I can't make sense of it very much at the time, but I know that it happens, and I believe, so it's entirely possible that I have a psychic gift to whatever level, and it's also entirely possible that I have passed it on to my sons. If you don't believe any of this, you're going to say this is complete nonsense, but where I'm going with this, you might already have the idea of where I'm going with this. I realised today that my son might have been having premonitory dreams about how I die. That might be how I'm going to die, and he's seen it in his dreams. I'm going to get stabbed in the back. I mean, that sounds crazy. If you knew me and the kind of life that I have, I don't associate with people. I keep my distance from people. I don't let people get close to me because I'm afraid of getting hurt emotionally or embarrassed by something I say or they say, or just that sort of thing. So I distance myself. That's just how I live my life. So I don't associate with people, especially not crazy, unbalanced people that are likely to just turn around and stab me in the back for no reason or for some slight that they think I've done them. But sorry, my eyes watering. That's probably the tiredness. So I just realised today, what if that is a premonition? What if that's how I'm going to die? And, especially with the other two things I mentioned with the animals, that's kind of freaked me out. So this morning I just had, a realisation, oh my god, I'm going to die by getting stabbed in the back. I I hope to god that's not going to happen. I want to die when I'm an old lady in my sleep, what was that, Rose on the Titanic, the film. That character died as a really old lady in her bed, in her sleep. That's how I want to go. I want to die in my sleep at old age, having lived a full and long life. I don't want to get killed by some psycho. So I hope to God that doesn't happen. But today I just had this realisation, what if it is going to happen? What if my son has foreseen my death? And that's just really freaked me out. Especially with these other two things I mentioned, I'm repeating myself now. That bloody magpie at the window, and it stared at me, and it just freaked me out. And then the dog last night just sort of staring at me on the sofa. It's like, what the hell's going on? Have I got, a skull and crossbones above my head? I know that's a pirate symbol, but, just something which they can sense, which is like, I've been marked for death, that I'm going to die. God, I don't want to die. I'm too young to die. I'm only 32, so if I do die, you would never know about it. My videos would just stop, unless I do get murdered and it makes the news, but there you go. You saw it here first, how I'm going to die, I know, but hopefully I don't. But I just wanted to share with you how much this has freaked me out and what I've realised today. So, people shouldn't know how they're going to die. I don't want to have that kind of knowledge about the future. I mean, it was kind of cool, being able to see things into the future, but only if it's not like how you're gonna die. I don't want to see that. And if you have anything to say about this, please leave in the comments below. So thanks for watching. Have a lovely day, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.